What do you get when you mix basketball, academic excellence, and a touch of controversy? Stay tuned to learn about DiJonai Carrington.
Hey everyone, I'm Garrett, feeling totally energized today and can't wait to dive into our topic.
And I'm Leah, equally excited to explore this fascinating story with you all. Welcome to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett.
Today, we're unraveling the story of DiJonai Carrington, a standout in women's basketball and beyond. I remember watching Carrington during her breakout season with the Connecticut Sun. Her defensive skills were off the charts, getting into passing lanes and just making life miserable for scorers. My friends and I were in awe of those game-changing plays. That's pretty cool, right?
All right, here's where we begin. DiJonai Carrington is an American professional basketball player in the WNBA, which is the Women's National Basketball Association, the top pro league in the U.S. She's known for being a two-way wing, meaning she contributes on offense and defense, energy, toughness, on-ball pressure. In 2024, she really hit a new level. She started every game for the Connecticut Sun and earned the league's Most Improved Player award, given for the biggest year-over-year leap. She also made the All-Defensive First Team, a select group recognized as elite defenders in the league. College-wise, she spent 4 seasons at Stanford, a powerhouse program, and then used a grad transfer. Basically, she finished her undergraduate degree and had immediate eligibility at a new school to play at Baylor for 1 season. At Stanford, she earned both athletic and academic honors. Then, at Baylor, she averaged 14.1 points and 4.9 rebounds, and snagged Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and 6th Person of the Year, with 6th person meaning Best Bench Player. That balance of books and buckets stood out to me.
And professionally, she was drafted 20th overall by the Sun in 2021, which is the second round. Not gonna lie, making an 11-player roster out of training camp as a second-rounder is tough, but she did it and climbed her role year after year. In 2024, boom, full-time starter, 12.7 points per game, 5 boards, and 1.6 steals. That's the kind of stat line that says, I can tilt a game on both ends.
Let's set the scene for her early life. She grew up in a sports family. Her dad, Darren Carrington, played in the NFL. Her brother, Darren Carrington II, was a wide receiver for the Oregon Ducks in college football. That kind of household where elite sports are normal dinner talk probably shaped her competitive edge and her understanding of performance under pressure. High school was Horizon Christian Academy in San Diego. She was a force, over 2,000 career points with averages around 18.8 points, 13.5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. That is a stat sheet that screams all-around impact. She was selected a McDonald's All-American and a Jordan Brand Classic All-American, which are the premier showcases for top high school players in the U.S.
Ever think about this one? Why do those high school All-American nods matter so much? It's like a stamp that says, this player isn't just good locally, they're elite nationally. Coaches at the next level see that and say, yeah, this athlete can handle the speed and size jumps that come with college and eventually the pros. It also puts you in rooms with other top talents, so the development curve steepens in a good way.
Right? And she chose Stanford. There she helped win Pac-12 tournament titles in 2017 and 2019. Quick definition: the Pac-12 is a major college conference, and its tournament is the postseason championship before the national tournament. Individually, she earned all Pac-12 in 2019, and academically, she was recognized in 2018 and 2019 with all academic honors, plus an academic honor roll in 2020. She also completed not 1, not 2, but 3 undergraduate degrees: psychology, African studies, and African American studies. That's rare for any student, let alone a high major athlete.
Then came Baylor. That grad transfer year is interesting. New system, new conference, new role. She put up 14.1 and 4.9 and picked up Big 12 Newcomer of the Year and 6th Person of the Year. That tells me she adapted fast and gave Baylor instant punch off the bench. I'm down for that kind of flexibility. It's like swapping tools on a job site and still nailing it. Now to the league. She went 20th to the Sun in 2021, earned that roster spot, and her minutes grew. In 2022, she played 36 games at about 17.5 minutes and jumped to 6.8 points. The postseason that year, she had valuable rotational minutes. In 2023, more efficient shooting and 8.3 per game. You could see the ramp happening. Then 2024 happened, and yeah, that checks out. Full-on breakout.
Let's unpack 2024 for a second. She started all 39 regular season games, averaged 12.7 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.6 steals. The steals are key because they reflect disruptive defense. She was named Most Improved Player in September 2024, and then All-Defensive First Team later that month. And in the playoffs, she actually leveled up, 13.7 points, 6.1 rebounds, nearly 2 steals in 33-plus minutes. That's where you see a player trust their preparation. Also before that, in 2022, she competed in Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball. That's a player-centric league with a unique scoring system and rotating captains, kind of like a draft every week. She was one of only 2 players to score in double figures in all 15 games and made their inaugural all-defensive team. That consistency across formats is impressive.
Why does that AU run matter? Because it shows her strengths translate regardless of system. In a format where teammates change constantly, you can't lean on chemistry as much. You have to bring portable skills, on-ball defense, anticipation, rebounding guards, and scoring that doesn't need a ton of plays drawn up. She checked those boxes for sure. Now, 2025 gets wild. In February, she was traded to the Dallas Wings. Early reporting framed it like a direct swap with some picks involved, but the finalized record logged it as part of a 4-team deal. Multi-team trades can look messy from the outside. Pieces get bundled, and timing shifts before it all lands. In Dallas, she played 20 games and started 13, averaged 10.4 points, 5.1 rebounds, and over a steal a game.
Then in August 2025, she was traded to the Minnesota Lynx for a package that included Diamond Miller and Carly Samuelson, plus a future second-round pick. Quick mini bio. Diamond Miller is a versatile wing known for size and slashing, and Carly Samuelson is a sharp-shooting guard forward. In Minnesota, Carrington's efficiency jumped, including 45.5% from 3 across 11 games. But in September 2025, a foot injury cut her playoff run short. Despite the setback, she still managed 2 postseason games for the Lynx and scored efficiently, but the injury timing mattered. It also affected her ability to play in the 2026 season of Unrivaled, which is a new women's 3-on-3 league founded by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. Both are WNBA stars, and it delayed her 2026 WNBA return.
Speaking of Unrivaled, she was announced for its inaugural season back in September 2024 and later suited up for the Mist in 2025. It's cool to see players embrace new platforms. Also, endorsement-wise, she signed with Reebok in 2025, becoming their second WNBA athlete after Angel Reese, who's a high-profile forward known for rebounding and swagger. That kind of brand alignment usually follows momentum on and off the court. In 2026, she signed a 1-year deal with the Chicago Sky in April. Because of that foot injury, she missed the first 27 games, then returned in July 2026 with 9 points in 17 minutes in a win over her former team, the Sun. That's a solid boost off the bench after a long layoff.
Now for a complicated moment, in August 2026, she was ejected in the first quarter against the Indiana Fever for a flagrant 2 foul on Sophie Cunningham. A flagrant 2 is defined as unnecessary and excessive contact and means automatic ejection. Cunningham immediately shoved Carrington, but there was no penalty issued for that shove. After the game, Carrington posted the words "white privilege" on social media and tagged the Fever. That sparked a lot of discussion. There's also the personal life layer. Back in March 2025, she appeared on a podcast hosted by Angel Reese and said, "I'm not even into girls. I'm not gay." That drew attention because people had connected her to a past relationship with Nalissa Smith at Baylor, who's a pro forward now. It reflects how public narratives can form around athletes, sometimes in ways they want to clarify later.
All right, let's roll on to that big unresolved question, the 2026 ejection and the social media post. The officiating piece is debated. Some viewers argued that the shove should have been penalized if the flagrant 2 stood. Others focused on whether the original contact deserved a flagrant 2 at all. And then her post added a broader social context about race, power dynamics, and how certain actions are treated differently.
Here's where it gets really interesting. For me, the post was a raw reaction to feeling like the enforcement wasn't balanced. Real talk. I care a lot about fairness. If one player gets ejected for severe contact and another player shoves and there's no penalty, that inconsistency invites frustration. And when you add the racial lens, which is tied to broader lived experiences, the emotion makes sense, even if you might prefer a different phrasing or a cooler moment to say it. Athletes have platforms, and yeah, sometimes they use them while feelings are at a 10.
I hear that. I guess my angle is like timing and clarity. In the heat of the moment, a post can pour gasoline on a fire. If the goal is to highlight officiating inconsistency and bring people into a constructive conversation, sometimes waiting a beat helps. That said, I don't dismiss the underlying point. Consistency matters. If contact A equals ejection, then shove B probably needs something on the ledger too. Otherwise, you're sending a mixed signal.
Why do you think athletes feel compelled to speak immediately? I think it's because the modern cycle moves fast. By tomorrow, the moment is gone and the nuance gets flattened. So saying something in real time keeps the context alive. Is it ideal for careful wording? Not always, but it does put a spotlight on what they feel is an urgent issue. And given her history as a vocal, high-energy competitor, that tracks with who she's shown herself to be on the floor.
That's a solid point. On the officiating side, I'd love clearer standards communicated to teams and fans. When everyone understands the thresholds, what's a flagrant 1 versus a flagrant 2, and how retaliations are handled, you reduce the sense of arbitrariness. Without that, players feel like they're guessing, and fans feel like outcomes hinge on vibes instead of rules.
And when it comes to responsibility on platforms, I think the core is accountability and impact. If you speak, you own the ripple effects, but you also get to claim your perspective. In Carrington's case, her comment opened a conversation about equal enforcement. People will disagree, but the issue, consistent discipline, doesn't go away. That's close to the heart of it for me.
While we're on a roll, pop culture-wise, Carrington crosses platforms. Athletes Unlimited in 2022 showed her adaptability. Unrivaled in 2025 put her in a new 3-on-3 spotlight, founded by 2 MVP-level stars, Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. Then the Reebok deal in 2025, second WNBA athlete after Angel Reese. I could see a future doc or series exploring her arc. Elite prep, triple major scholar, defensive ace, trades, injury, and a voice in bigger conversations.
Okay, here's something to get us started on a what if. What if she hadn't suffered that 2025 foot injury? For me, the Lynx are a different playoff equation. A healthy Carrington brings perimeter defense that hounds ball handlers and wings, plus timely scoring. In short playoff series, 1 or 2 extra possessions created by steals can change everything. That's not hyperbole. That's math.
I'm with you. I imagine she tilts a game on the road with a momentum play, like a pick-six style steal into a layup, then locks down a hot shooter late. That can flip a series. And if that happens, her 2026 free agency market might look different, maybe a multi-year deal or a different set of suitors. Teams love players who prove it under playoff lights.
And beyond the contract side, there's rhythm. Missing time can muddy your flow, especially for players who thrive on energy and timing. If she stays healthy, she enters 2026 with the wind at her back, no delayed start with the sky. Maybe she's not just ramping up in July, maybe she's in stride by June. That's a big swing in minutes, touches, and confidence.
Here's another angle to look at. Without the injury, she probably plays unrivaled in 2026, stacking more reps and visibility. Workload management is the trade-off, but momentum is real. The compounding effect of good health plus multiple platforms can elevate both skill and brand. That's something to chew on, huh? Thanks for tuning in, and remember to stay curious.
And keep exploring those rabbit holes. Until next time on Laid Back Learning.